So today we are finally going to change out the reservoir on the Kawasaki. Now I've been pretty much meaning to do this since day one. As much as I love the styling of the bike, this really sticks out like a sore thumb. It just feels a bit plasticky and it really protrudes out. I've really not liked it since I got the bike. So it's been on my hit list for a while. So the plan is to change it out for this rather nice brushed metal Reservoir one, which I think is going to fit the style of the bike really well. Now I've had this in the workshop for some time, again, because I knew I wanted to get rid of this. But I wasn't sure what I was doing with the bars, so I didn't want to put the Reservoir one on, bleed all the system, get it all running, then change the bars over and have to go through that again. But if you've been watching the videos, you know that recently I changed out the stock bars for these rather nice blacked out Cafe Racer bars that come with the Cafe Racer version of this bike. Really happy with it. It feels great, so definitely going to keep these on. So now it's time to get this on. Now brake fluid is nasty stuff, so we need to put some time in prepping the bike, making a bit of a kill room almost, so with some plastic, and making sure none of that nasty stuff is going to get on our tank and strip any of the paint. So let's get into that, and then we can actually get into the real work.
Have you got like, you're gonna need something to put... I don't normally do this. You're gonna need something to put the end of this into? A jar or similar, something you can seal that you don't care about.
Do we need paste?
No paste needed.
Okay.
Spanner on it. What I normally do is this, and then put me... That's why surgical gloves are quite nice for this, because when they go over, they make a little hole and then like suck back in.
Will these do?
Oh, are they the... Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The serious really nice. Yeah, put one of these on first. You're probably never going to get stuff somewhere, but...
They just pop it over the lip.
Yeah. Then you get a real nice seal on a surgical glove. I never got them, but Nick's fancy it. So there you go. And we'll put the plastic over anyway. And this is all just in case. Yeah, and keep it in order.
All right, should we just recap exactly what are we doing? Like,
we are bleeding the front brake so that we can change the reservoir. So normally if you bleed your brakes to freshen them up, you would just flush fluid through, but here we're going to have to empty the reservoir to replace it, which means we're going to let air in, which means we're going to have to bleed it again afterwards. And most of this is just to make sure we don't get brake fluid anywhere, because brake fluid's nasty and it strips paint and strips chrome and causes havoc. So this is to make sure we don't get shit in places.
And we've gone full MacGyver with the jar taped to a...
This is because I've had experiences where the jar's light when it's got no fluid in and you knock it over, so it's worth putting some weight on it.
Pro tip.
This is the bleed kit. This is the tube is king. And a nice tight seal. That's what you want, nice tight seal.
Right, so what's step one?
Step one now is going to be, we're going to take the cap off the reservoir. Because we are going to have to top it up as we... Actually, we're not going to top it as we go. We're going to have to empty it. I don't know what this little... Put it under the bike and we don't knock it over.
So anything that's got a bit of fluid on it.
Oh, yeah. Just know where you've had brake fluid like this. You want to chuck away afterwards. That's why it's nice to use kitchen towels, not rags, because then you can just... It's disposable.
You're not going to risk keeping it.
Yeah, it sits on there and then you'll do something stupid with it. Like you'll polish your bike with it.
Tap, tap, tap.
Tappy, tap, tap.
Shiny.
And you need to remember that's going back in when you refill it, or you're going to displace
Okay.
all your fluid.
Pro tip.
Lessons learned, mistakes. So, you put your spanner on your bleed nipple.
Oh, nipple.
Bleed nipple. And then you're going to compress the brake, so you're pushing fluid in. Right, so you've got full tension on there. And then you're going to open the nipple. Obviously this one's probably never been opened before, so you might need a little nudge. The thing to remember here is normally these calipers are aluminium and these bleed nipples are made of something stronger like steel. So if you tighten them up too tight, you can like fuck up the thread, you know what I mean? So even when you're tightening it, you just want to give it like a...
Just enough.
yeah, like a yeah. Or I replace them all with stainless steel. because these can get rusted up as well, and obviously they don't rust, it all corrodes. And when if you do put the bleed nipples in, you don't want to put anything like copper slip in there because you don't want it mixing with the brake fluid.
Pro tip.
I'm getting into this, aren't I? Like, look, I fucking feel like I'm at work doing this sort of lefty loosey. These are the simple things I struggle with. Right,
So you want to go up.
Yeah, but you've normally only got so much sort of wiggle room, right? There you go.
So you've got the brake compressed.
So keep your hand on it. What we're going to do is we're going to keep our hand on that. We're going to release this valve, which will push the brake fluid through. Then you want to tighten the valve up again before you let the lever out. Right. Otherwise, you suck air back into the system. Now, again, here...
Because it's essentially a pump,
Yeah, but here, because we're going to empty that reservoir, we're going to get air in anyway.
Right,
but,
okay.
I mean, it's just an easier way to bleed it. If you get loads of air in, it's a pain in the ass, right? So... There you go. See that come through? It's really clean because it's like a brand new bike. And then tighten it up. As long as your hand's on it. Do you know what I mean? And tighten it up. Just like, and then up top, release. You can see the reservoir go down. And then you hold it tight again. I've got compression there. I release again. Off it goes. Tighten it up. Release the lever.
Let's check out the reservoir.
Pump it down. And if you were bleeding your brakes, just to service it, when that brake fluid runs down, you want to top it up. Because if it ever runs out in there, then that's when you get the air in. You know what I mean? So you're doing this, then you're standing up, topping it up, pushing it through, topping it up, pushing it through.
So for a service at this point, you would...
I'd probably take it a bit lower because I'm lazy, but yeah. The thing is, if it's really high, you've got a big reservoir, but it can spit. Do you know what I mean? As you're sucking it through, it can spit a bit on your bike.
Okay.
That's why I normally run it quite low. But my reservoirs are tiny and useless as well. So.
I have no clue what he's doing.
I'm just taking off the brake reservoir.
So we've flushed it. We've made some moonshine.
Honestly, all I have to do at work all day is make fucking demo videos, and here we are, filming our process.
This does kind of look like a bomb.
Yeah. When you go to the dump as well, and you're like, I got
It's not a bomb.
And they're like, yeah, what you got in there? You're like, just bad shit. Like, shit you don't want.
Shit. Just...
What, like brake fluid? Yeah, let's say it's brake fluid.
Okay, so we've completely emptied this now. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have a little think about how we're going to mount the new one before we take this off.
Yeah.
We don't want to whip it off.
Yeah, well, I mean, or you whip it off, shove something in the hole so it's not dripping, but why not do it in a clever way? Now, do you want to say when here? Or are you comfortable with...
Oh, I trust you. The years of experience.
Free.
Look at that. Charming. So we've ground it down a bit. We've bent it into shape.
Ooh, pretties. And the bolt will still fit and turn. Ooh.
Look at that.
Mm.
It's like we planned that.
Wow.
Wow. Do you have copper slip now?
No.
I might buy you that for your birthday. When's your birthday? Like basically, like again, like it's just like metals into metal, so it's fine.
What's copper slip? Okay. So we've made a bracket. We've got the reservoir on, and now we're just
Modified the bracket.
modified the bracket.
Modified the bracket.
Nicely done.
So now we're just trying to line up the hose to kind of get a nice flow, but not too short of a kink and not too big.
If you get it too tight, then the tube will pinch and your fluid won't go through it. And if you leave it too long, it looks shit.
Pro tip.
Pro tip.
Right, so what's next?
Cut that tube.
Cut that tube.
Cut that tube. Mark that tube. Mark it twice. Cut it once. Pro tip. Fill that up.
Slow down. So fill.
Fill that up.
So reservoir's filled up. Filled up.
Reservoir's filled up. Get your 8mm spoiler. 10mm spoiler. And then we'll take up, so if you watch that reservoir as I pump it, it should basically get the system full, but there'll be loads of air in it. That's why you see there's no pressure in there.
No.
Yeah, so it's gonna be hard work at the start. All right, we should got to be going over. To be honest.
I've got quite a bit there.
Yeah, it should. We'll probably get a bit of that now. There you go. It's like squeezing a fucking pussy spot. Yeah. The trick now is getting rid of those bubbles. But that's what that top bleed should come in really fucking handy for. I've put a whole bottle of that fluid through before trying to get rid of bubbles. There's no bubbles there. That's good now, isn't it? That's a lot. I like that. That's worth doing.
Nice. Well done.
So WD-40 to kind of clean up.
I wouldn't recommend WD-40, but it is what we have. I would recommend brake cleaner or degreaser.
Okay.
WD-40 will work.
Right, so it's on. It's all good. Any words of advice for someone trying this?
Don't spill the brake fluid.
Don't spill the brake fluid. Who would do such a thing? Feels good, looks good. Thank you very much, Mr. Fuller.
Yes.
Pro tip.
Pro tip.